Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you are not new here. My name is Magic BunBun and all I do is basically tarot and oracle readings. And so what you can tell from today's video, this is your Tarotscope for your zodiac rising / sun sign. If you want to know more about your birth chart, there is a link down below that you can click that will take you to a great beginner website so you can put in your information so you can find out your rising, or also known as your ascendant sign. It is the sign that starts off your chart. For example, I am a Libra rising but a Leo sun, and a Cancer moon. So that would be my big three. If you've ever heard the term big three before, that's how it is. So I would go to watching like the Libra sign in this video versus Leo. I mean, you can listen to both, whatever your preference are. And if you don't know your rising sign because you don't know your time of birth, there is a way to estimate it. However, if you just want to go, you're more comfortable and you connect with your sun sign, just use your sun sign. That's absolutely fine. So this is your zodiac, your Tarotscope vibe of this week of February 13th, 2022. So how we're going to do this, if you're new here. If you're not new here and you already know how it's going, you want to skip forward to your reading, the timestamps will be in the description below. I usually do this live on YouTube. This time I'm trying to do something a little different and do something pre-recorded to help save some time here, But I normally will do this live on YouTube around 10 a.m., between 10 and 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. So, but let me know if you like the pre-recordedness. So if you already know what's going on, I'll catch you in your reading. If you're new here and you want to know what is all this, let me explain. So we're going to start with actually Aquarius. I know Aries, you're always used to going first, but Aquarius, we're in Aquarius season, and that's how we're going to do things here. Whatever season we're going to start with your readings first. So Aquarius gets to go first, and we'll go down the line from there. Everyone gets a major arcana card. So the only tarot that will be in this reading is whatever major arcana card is guiding you for this week. Whichever one is kind of like the overarching theme for your week. You get one major arcana card. Then you will get a card that will tell you what to surrender for this week. Then you'll get a card for a color, and this color could be something that you surround yourself with, like imagining it in a light form surrounding you, or it could be a color that you want to wear, as in clothing, jewelry, and makeup, a color for your hair, a color like a color of a candle, maybe you want to light, or a color of food you want to have or to drink. So everyone gets one of those, your color for the week. And then tea leaf fortunes. Everyone will get 2 of these. And it'll just be a little tea leaf fortune for this week that you'll get. Everyone gets a self-care card, an affirmation, and then this is actually really great for yes or no style questions. So if you have a yes or no question at the end of the reading, we'll go through this where you'll have time. I'll shuffle it, I'll shuffle them for a little bit, and then you can kind of ask your question out loud or to yourself, and then I will pick a card. And these cards are really great for yes or no style questions. As you can see some examples like the time the time is right, unlikely, listen to your intuition, get more information, straight up yes or straight up no, not the right time, and this is the sign. So, those are just some examples. So if you have a question you want to ask, or if you don't, that's absolutely fine. You don't have to participate in that if you don't want to. But if you have a question, that will be also included in every sign through this video. Okay, so that's about it. If you like this style of video, if you like, or you want to drop a comment, let me know if this resonated with you. If you liked it, you want to come back and watch us at the end of the week and see what resonated with you or what didn't, let me know. I love to hear from you. And all my other socials are linked in the description box below. All that good stuff. Make sure you like the video, share with a friend, subscribe to the channel if you want more of this content. I truly do appreciate it. And without further ado, I will see you in your reading for your sign. Bye. Hello, Aquarius. It is still your season, so you are first. Let me put your symbol here. There we go. And let us find out what major arcana will be present for your week for February 13th. What major arcana is looking over Aquarius for this week? We have Death, which is some Scorpio vibes going into here. Death being a card of transformation, a card of new beginnings, as long as you are accepting of a cycle that needs to end. And I know that's the moon rising, but it's more being guided by the moonlight. Normally or traditionally, I'll say it's the sun, like, you know, the darkest before the light, before the sun rises. So we have that going for you for Aquarius. So this could be a very, very transformative week for you. Okay. So some strong guides coming in there. And this also could be a message being sent to you, a message being delivered to you. And we had one card for what you needed to surrender for this week. Just jump out. Surrender to inner peace. Cultivate inner peace on a daily basis. In quiet, meditative moments, focus on the stillness within and enjoy this inner refuge. Others will feel your good vibes too, and your life will flow more easily. So definitely connecting to this Death card here. There's probably something going on in your life that you're desperately holding on to this week, or you don't want it to end, but you're going to need it to end to bring you this sort of inner peace. Okay, to understand that this cycle is coming to end. For some of you, this might be a great sign because you wanted something to end this week, and it's going to happen. This cycle is coming to an end. A fresh one will be starting, something you're going to transform from. We still have like the birds flying in this, flying free, a lot of burdens being lifted off your shoulders. So some good things are heading your way. I know Death is never the happiest of messengers, because a lot of times you don't realize that the universe is trying to signal to you that this is a time for this part of your life, or this phase of your life needs to come to a close. And it's sometimes really hard to accept that for you, for Aquarius, for this week. You know, but this will be a lesson you really have to learn and to let go, and you'll be good. You'll be good to go. Okay, what is the color for Aquarius? Aquarius, what is your color for this week? The color for Aquarius will be this one. Magenta. Connect to your deepest inner knowing. This could be getting to know a deeper side of yourself. This could just be about talking about that inner message being sent to you. An inner knowing of understanding that this is where the peace is going to come from. But your color of the week is this beautiful magenta color. So maybe when the cycle is done and over with, you need something to uplift you. Some magenta being brought into your life could be really good, or it could be a sign. It looks a little bit more red on my camera. I apologize for that. But it is a beautiful magenta, pinkish color, a deep pink color. Okay, here is your first tea leaf. Your tea leaf fortune for this week. Needle and thread. A sincere wish will be granted. And like I was saying, maybe that's a wish for a cycle to come to an end. A cycle or where you're finding your inner peace. If you've been wishing for inner peace, your wish could be granted. This could just be for some of you and not all of you, in the sense that like this is a general reading, so not everything may resonate with you. I also get the vibe of like if you were considering sewing something using the color magenta, could be a good sign for that. But that's nice. A sincere wish will be granted. Okay, and the second tea leaf fortune is... Let me do it this way. Broken bridge. Unsuccessful outcome to a problem. Got you. And we see that as well, because like there is a river flowing in this card, but there's no bridge that is helping us get over it. So we see this unsuccessful outcome to a problem. This could be of some of you that are forcing it. You're forcing to hold on. You're not letting go. You're forcing, like versus a sincere wish to be granted. You're forcing it to happen instead of just letting it happen organically. You're forcing a situation, or you're not surrendering to inner peace for some of you out there. So please keep that in mind, Aquarius. Unsuccessful outcome to a problem. Let's see what some self-care. I'm just thinking with that unsuccessful outcome to a problem, maybe you need some self-care, Aquarius. What do you need to focus on for yourself to also help bring in that inner peace? I also kind of get the vibe when I see a sincere wish will be granted next to unsuccessful outcome to a problem is that maybe you've been wishing for something to happen, or you wish for this thing because you want this problem to be solved in a certain way, and it actually doesn't help your situation. It makes it worse, or it's not going to help you get what you want. Like, you wanted this so bad, you kept wishing for it, and you know, you were very sincere and you wished for it, and it made things unsuccessful. It actually didn't solve your problem, and that's where you might be surrendering to the situation. Like, you've tried it, you've done it. You now need to find your inner peace and just let things go and let these vibes. You can only control so much. All right, Aquarius, what is some self-care you can do for this week? Clean your space. Clean your space. Maybe that will bring inner peace. A lot of us don't like to sit in clutter. You want to be able to see things, cleaning your windows, letting the light in, like we were saying, like the light from before, wanting to let some light into your space, cleaning your sacred space, wanting to spruce it up, maybe finding some magenta colored flowers and bringing them into your space, putting down an altar cloth that might be with a magenta color there, might be calling to you, or if this is your sign for that. But cleaning your space, a lot of times that's how you can find some inner peace for that. Okay, so while I'm pulling for your affirmation for this week, Aquarius, if you need to at this time, think of a yes or no style question, or just think of a question overall, and I will be pulling a card from this after I get done pulling the affirmation. But if you need this time now while I'm shuffling for the affirmation up to this point, you know, this is your opportunity to do so. I'll put those to the side for right now. But let us find out the affirmation for Aquarius for this week. What is your affirmation? More birds. I let go of all expectations. I let go of all expectations. There we go. I'm trying to see if my camera can pick that up nicely. And this is, again, that same visualization of flying free this week, allowing the transformation. You know, you can't be wishing for everything in the sense of like exactly what you want to happen for what you think will solve your problem. You know what I mean? Like, you want this exact wish to happen because you think it's going to solve your problem. You think that's going to bring your inner peace, and that's not what's actually going to help the situation. You're looking too closely at it, whereas you have to look at the bigger picture. And so some of you might need that distraction. You might need to be able to clean your space, give yourself some time and dedication this week to giving to a nice, clean, fresh space. We have the imagery of clouds, letting light in, seeing the birds, and letting go of all expectations. Okay, so here is the opportunity to ask your question, Aquarius, whatever question you have for this week. And let us see what you get. No. Straight up no. So this might not be the right time for this, or you don't have enough information for whatever your question is. We have no. Okay. Seems very straightforward, to the point with that no. I get that no again about that wish. It kind of vibes back to this. Like, no, that wish isn't going to work, but you're probably going to do it anyways to see for yourself, which is absolutely fine. And there you go. This is your reading for this week. This is your vibe check for this week, Aquarius. Thank you so much for being here with me. Let me know what you thought of this reading. If you like this style, you know, all that good stuff, okay? And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello, Pisces. You are next. This is your reading for this week. So let us find out what major arcana will be guiding Pisces through this week of February 13th. What major arcana is calling to Pisces in this moment for this week? Oh yeah, this one. This is the one. There we go. We have the Fool. Sorry, make sure you can see that. We have the Fool connected to Uranus energy, rebellion energy, a new beginning energy. So new beginnings could be good this week. If you're starting a project, this is a good sign for this. Do not feel foolish. You are a young beginner. You are connected to the divine. Your guides are watching over you, protecting you, making sure you don't fall off that cliff. You have everything you need to get started right now. You've got the passion, the desire to learn, and you'll be starting a journey, a new beginning of sorts. And you're not going to be something, or it's not going to be something that you're a master of, or it's more of like you're trying something new this week, or be open to trying something new this week. Okay, Pisces, what do you have to surrender this week? What is something you should be surrendering this week? Go with the first one I saw. Surrender low self-esteem. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. So this could be the new beginning of talking about your self-esteem, talking about how where you see you have low self-esteem in certain areas of your life and how you are more deserving of like love and abundance. This is also about starting a new journey for some of you. This might be a journey for starting to get higher self-esteem, and some of you might be feeling like foolish about that, or like, you know, should you be doing this? Very cautious. And this is the sign to you have to, or you should do this. You should take this step, this process, and understand that you deserve success, love, and abundance. You need to set intentions, and this is a whole new journey, a whole new path. Very big and impactful for this week for you, Pisces. Okay. Now let's find out what color is calling to Pisces for this week. What is your color? The color for Pisces for this week. This one. We have rainbow, connect to spirit and nature. So we're seeing that connection to spirit, connection to the divine, connection to your spiritual team. It is present. You are surrounded by all the colors. You can call upon any of them to boost you, like your abundance, your love, and your success. Very powerful. And we have that one that's even present here. Again, new beginnings. I know this is 0, but it's also, there's no 0 in this deck, so this kind of would be like, you know, 0. So similar to the Fool. In the state of new beginnings. Okay, here is your first tea leaf fortune. First tea leaf fortune for Pisces for this week. This one. Target a goal-oriented person. So you might be seeing your goals for, you know, surrendering low self-esteem. You might be setting target for other goals you want to achieve. Something, like I said, you're starting something new, a new business opportunity, a new creative project, a new path, a new journey. And you're very goal-oriented, so you might be very analytical about this too. So you want to be able to see how you're able to reach your goals. You're very much so wanting to plan and prep this week, Pisces, for setting your goals, and also figuring out like how can you see your goals happening. Like, can you check off a box? Is it a numbers game? How do you see progress? For some of you, that is something that maybe you want to do to make sure that you know, like, you're starting this new journey, but, you know, as you learn things, are you quizzing yourself? Are you studying? You know, how do you know? Are you putting it into practice? Okay. This one. Vulture, depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. So you're trying to reach your goals, and this person might be worried that someone is against you, might be your own self. Like having hesitations, like I was saying before, hesitations in reaching your goals, hesitations, you know, when you're starting this new path of success, love, and abundance, like accepting of yourself, understanding. For some of you, you might be taking a deeper dive into a relationship, with your relationship with money. And you're trying to ignore that part of your life. Like you feel like money could be evil. If you have too much of it, it changes you as a person, you know, so you push and you resist against this. That could be the depression and anxiety that keeps going through your head. For some of you, you might be starting to go to therapy, and so you can learn better self-esteem habits. You know, spirit will be there guiding you along the way, helping you get through the process, you know, seeing your targets and goals being reached to take out this vulture that could be yourself or others that are whispering these words in your head. You know, other people around you, other people that might be pulling you down with them. This is like your hint, or this is like your sign to like lift yourself up and really take charge of your friend group. Friend and family group, I should say, too. Didn't come out. Okay. What is some self-care that Pisces can do for this week? This one. Energy work. And we see the rainbows here. So if you do practice like chakras, this could be a sign for you to do some chakra work. But energy work, flowing with your energy, cleansing and clearing your energy, grounding your energy, taking care to check all of your energy portals here, and like making sure that they're all connected. This is target work on yourself to maybe find out, like where it says here, identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. What parts of you kind of bring up the low self-esteem? What kind of parts of you bring up depression and anxiety? Where do you need to get help versus if you're doing it on your own? Like the Fool might be starting the path on their own, but they're going to meet a lot of people along the way. You're going to meet mentors, professionals, and that's why I suggest like don't ever take a tarot oracle reading like this and try to do it yourself. You know, your own therapy, like try and seek professional help in that. This could just be a sign to kind of point you in the right direction. Okay, let me grab your affirmations for this week, and I'm going to put these to the side right now, and this is your opportunity, if you need this much time while I'm shuffling and taking care of affirmations, to think of a yes or no style question. Remember, these are kind of like the answers you would get for that, and I'll explain them if I need to when it happens. So you can think of your question now while I get your affirmation ready, and then we'll pull one of those. Okay, what is the affirmation for Pisces? And this is an affirmation you can just use when you see this video. You can use this for the day. You can use this every day for this week, however you feel guided to do so. Just gonna take the top one. There we go. Okay. I go with the flow and feel my connection to the stream of life. Wow. And like we have like the rainbow, connecting with the divine, connecting with your energy, bringing that balance. So I go with the flow and feel my connection to the stream of life. We need to reconnect with actual people in your life, having conversations, getting more information. So that's really nice. That goes really well with your reading for your affirmation. All right, question time. Question for Pisces. What would be the answer that Pisces is seeking? What do they need to know? This one. Choose a new direction. Maybe you need to see things differently. You're not seeing it from a good perspective. You're not seeing it, especially if there's like a lot of despair. You need to choose a new direction or tackle the problem in a new way. So choose a new direction. All right, Pisces, that was your reading for this week. This is your vibe check, things to look out for, things to surrender, things to bring closer to you. Let me know what you thought of this reading, if it resonated with you or not. If you want to check in next week, for see how this week played out and you want to check in then, that's absolutely fine. But thank you for being here. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello, my fiery Aries. It is your turn. Let us find out what major arcana will be guiding Aries this week of February 13th. Let us see what major arcana is calling to Aries. Calling to Aries, wants to guide Aries. I see it already. I see it's this one right here. We have the Hanged Man, some Neptune/Pisces energy coming through here. The Hanged Man, some of you are in a moment of pivot where you need to surrender to the process. You need to see things calmly. You're just hanging around waiting for basically that other shoe to fall. You're not ready to react to something just yet because you're gathering the information right now. This week is about gathering information and having patience. And being able to see the future in the sense of the next action and steps you're going to take is by having this patience, because truths will be revealed to you this week, Aries. You're going to be learning more about yourself, about others around you, about your situation before you can make the next move, so that you can make the next power move. But you need to be patient and surrender yourself to the process. Don't make any rash decisions at this time. And I know, there's always that thing about Aries being, very hard-headed, fiery, impulsive, but I know you have the ability to rein it on in, especially if it will give you a better outcome in the end. Okay, so let's find out, Aries, what it is that you need to surrender for this week. What does Aries... Oh, okay, no. Didn't come out. What does Aries need to... There we go. Surrender your addictions. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with the healthier alternatives. Some of you might need professional help with doing this, and that is okay. Maybe that is what you're waiting for. You're waiting to see if you can get the right therapist for you, the right doctor for you. You're getting your information ready to go, or you're becoming more aware that something is becoming addicting to you. You're addicted to a certain person. Some of you have been working very hard. You're not having a very good work-life balance. You're always swinging in one direction, one extreme or the other, and that's why you need to be brought back into the balance and not force the swing before it breaks and you fall on your head, in that sense, with this imagery here of the Hanged Man. So keep that in mind for this week, is surrender your addictions. And what is it that you're so dependent on that you feel like you need to do this so much to the extreme that other areas of your life start falling apart? And this might be what you're becoming very aware to. You're starting to see that happen. Okay. Let us find out the color for Aries. What is the color that is calling to Aries for this week? Okay. What color is calling to Aries for this week? The top one, even though both are kind of similar shades. Build your confidence. So we already have this color. It's like a pretty blue color. I'm not going to attempt to say that because I always mess it up. And so blue could be that calming color. We see blue on the Hanged Man. We see you're trying to build your confidence. Some of you need confidence to realize that you are, you have addictions that you need to surrender and let go of in order to move forward. And some of you are just trying to build your confidence, and you can call upon this color if you need to boost your confidence. Imagine it surrounding you, visualize it, it's protecting you, it's surrounding you in a light. Something on the card. But yeah, so here is your color for the week. Here, let's get to tea leaf number 1, 2 tea leaf fortunes. Let's see, what do you want that one? No, we don't. Okay. What is a tea leaf, or what is your tea leaf for this week? Your first one. We have heart. Love, deep affection, and caring. So love is on the mind. I do know, February 14th is, the next day. It's Monday. So this could be for some of you that are finding that deep love, that deep affection, are very much surrendering to the process of love, trying to boost your confidence so that you can believe that you deserve love. Some of you might be in very bad relationships right now where you don't believe you deserve better, so you're addicted to being in a comfort zone. So you may be realizing that truths are coming out, especially how they might be treating you on this week. As anything special, or if it's not something you really want to celebrate, that'll be revealed to you this week. And then let me grab the second pile. So very strong in the love department for Aries. Nope, I didn't want it. This one. Dog barking, advice from a friend. So maybe your advice you might be getting from a friend this week, where I was talking about like you're getting more information this week before you make your next move, could be coming from a place of deep love and caring and affection from this person. It's just platonic. It's just, hey, I care about you and I want you to do the best. They might be trying to talk to you about your addictions and how you can help, get help for it. You might be seeking advice from them and asking them like, where can you go? They're trustworthy, and they care about you, and they're going to help you, set you on a good path. Just giving you that advice at starting points, so then you can start making those next moves. Okay, let us find out what self-care Aries should be doing for this week. What self-care should Aries be doing this week? Dream journal. What is it that you dream about? What is it? It says, are you sleeping on here? So when you wake up, write down what is the last thing that you remember. If you decide to do this as a moment of self-care, what are you dreaming about it? What's getting your heart pumping in a good way? Maybe you're getting advice in your dreams from someone from the other side. Someone who's trying to send you a message. They're trying to give you that information. They're trying to tell you about your addictions. They're trying to send that to you. They were close to your heart and it's from the past. So if you wake up at any point in the night, keep a journal next to your bed, write it down and review it in the morning, so you don't try to forget those dreams. There could be a message in there that's being sent to you. Okay. Affirmation. And while I pull for the affirmation, I will have these on the side ready to go. So we'll be giving you a few moments so you can think of a question. Particularly a yes or no style question are great for these. If you don't have one, that's absolutely fine. But we'll be doing those right after I pick your affirmation for Aries for this week. What affirmation is good for Aries for this week? What does Aries need to hear for this week? What do they need to affirm? There you see it, it's this one. We have, I believe in myself and my abilities. I believe in myself, oh, camera please, and my abilities. So having that belief in yourself, like I said, sometimes a lot of people will talk about Aries being super stubborn, impulsiveness, that they're not very patient, and while that in certain aspects might be true, some things that will just kind of like explode, there's also times where you can believe in yourself, believe in your ability to be that patient, surrender yourself to the process, be more aware of your addictions, aware when you need to ask or get advice. Okay, you can have that moment of peace too. So believe also in your building your confidence. All right, question time. Think of your question while I shuffle these, if you haven't picked a question already. All right. unlikely. Whatever it is you are asking, the results may be unlikely. Doesn't mean no, it's just unlikely to go the way that you want it to go. And this could be because you still require more information. Or there isn't like true faith behind what you're trying to do right now. It's still something that you need to build up to. Okay? So that was your reading for this weekly vibe check for Aries. Let me know what you thought of this reading, if it resonated, if you're going to check back in towards the end of the week. Totally understand that. Remember to share, like, subscribe, all that cool YouTube stuff, and anything else you need to know about me is in the description down below. And I do appreciate you being here, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello to my Taurus babies out there, my Earth babies. How are you doing? Let us find out the vibe of the week for Taurus. Okay, so what major arcana is calling to Taurus for this week, the week of February 13th? Ooh, that's too many. That's just too many. Only one. You only need one for this one. Okay. Here we go. This is the one. We have the moon, a bit of Pisces energy coming into here. I say Pisces because Pisces is with the moon card for the tarot. So we have the moon, wild thing that you are. We have like not an inside joke, but when we get this card for the moon for the community, we take it as a sign that maybe you need to go outside and howl at the moon. Embrace your inner beast. Embrace the unknown. Know that you are wild, but you are guided by intuition. Things might be becoming clearer soon, like you're going to find your path in the darkness, but you will have no fear of not knowing everything right now. A path or a message from the other side might be being sent to you, Taurus. There could be pros and cons that you're trying to deal with, and you're taking the middle ground because you want to have a bit of benefit on both sides. You're going to make it happen, as we see like the werewolf is connected on both ends of this. We still have the water flowing freely with this card. I hope you can see it nicely. My focus is always crap, and I apologize. So keep that in mind. You have the moon guiding you. We also have, I believe it's the full moon in Leo coming up this week. Yes, the full moon in Leo coming up on the 16th. So this moon could be a very significant cycle for you. It could be not just the fact that it's a full moon in Leo, boosting your confidence, wanting to be that star and shining, wanting to use that for, if any of you do rituals or do any practicing of any sort under the full moon, this is your time to shine. This is the time to do so. This could be a very significant full moon for you to ignite change, to have something, or bring stability. Earth signs like stability, you like comfort. This would be the time to bring that in. Leos are known for, their keenly attitude in the sense of, wanting to wear a crown. I'm a Leo sun, so I say this with love, but the drama queens, being very queen-like, royalty. And Taurus is very close to that too. You know how to eat well, you know how to surround yourself with luxurious items, you know how to treat yourself good and treat those around you. There's nothing like being in the comfort of a Taurus, right? So this full moon coming up, because we have a full moon present under the moon card, will be very significant for you. So keep aware of the energies of that day in particular. All right, Taurus, what do you need to surrender for this week? What do you need to surrender for this week? There we go. Surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So this kind of tells me just double checking communication. That could be what's like kind of murky right now for you, is miscommunication. So you don't know which way to act. You don't know if someone meant to be offensive or they're just saying something, and because right away your defenses are shooting upwards, Taurus. So you may need to surrender that to get more clear information, like hear what they have to say and then offer your words. Realize where is it coming from. Clarify things for this week. Clarify what you also want to communicate out towards others. You know, you don't have to give everyone a chance. You don't have to give everyone your attention, but those that are worthy of your time, make sure you like give them the opportunity to like speak and be heard. And then, you know, really like absorb that, understand what they're trying to say. And if you don't, you have to be clear. You have to be like, I don't get it. Like, get that clarity from them before you just automatically go up to a defense system and like lock them out, because maybe that's not what they meant. It came out one way, like when people say you send a text message out, and sometimes the tone of a text message doesn't actually relate to how they meant to say it, because sometimes text can just be clouded like that, convoluted like that. Okay, what color? Moving on to color. What color is calling to Taurus this week? The color, oh, nope. Okay, we have a few that like want out. And we have a winner. Blue, activate your healing power. We've got deep blue for you. This might be where you're trying to keep yourself calm. It also kind of represents the night. So nighttime is going to be very reflective, very inner working for you to, you know, test the waters, test like that inner side for you, to connect with the spirit, with divine, with your inner, like I said, like your inner beast. So when we see that werewolf, your inner beast, your inner power, your inner strength is what you'll be connecting to, not your defensive system. You know, your defensive system that's just shooting up from nowhere. You need to analyze where that's coming from. This is more about your strength and your power that you're going to show others. And this could be a healing journey for some of you. You'll be going through a path of healing, and that's why this full moon might be a good way for you to like cleanse yourself, cleanse your crystals, cleanse your tools, cleanse, you know, even if it's like your makeup brushes as you put makeup on, you know, they're your tools. You're applying it to your face, not just cleaning them like physically, like with soap and, you know, to make sure like no bacteria, that sort of stuff, but actually like charging them under the moonlight might be really great for you. Collecting moon water and using it for healing powers later could be good for you. Just some thoughts. Okay, first tea leaf. What is your first? Because we're pulling two for these, for the two different piles. Casket. Someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. So some of your healing, it's either coming to like an end, like you're getting close to the end of that, and that's why this full moon could be a good cycle. But someone going out of your life or the end of a situation, it could be someone like, if someone's always setting off your defensive, you're starting to let them go because it's better for you so you can heal yourself. They need to leave. They can't be a part of your life anymore because it just triggers your defensiveness to go up so much. And it's like someone miscommunicating, but on purpose. Like they know what they're doing, and it's better to like let them go at that point and find others that instead reflect more of your healing, like more of like have that same energy. Hard work ahead. You've got table. Hard work ahead. Some of you will be working at a table. You'll be working on projects at a table, and there will be a lot of things you're going to have to take control over, but also like the blue, like healing yourself, getting to your strength, triggering your inner strength to like help you lower your defensiveness, build those connections with those that are actually uplifting to yourself, will be very is going to be very prominent for this week for you, Taurus. Hard work ahead, and you're no stranger to hard work, but the hard work might also come from is like letting this someone leave your life, or accepting the end of a situation. That could be where the hard work is also relayed at. Okay, Taurus, What do you need for some self-care? What is the self-care idea for you to focus in on for this week? Okay, I guess that one went out. Make a vision board. Very cool, very fun. I kind of get that picture of someone sitting at a table making their vision board, whether you've got a laptop or a computer or an iPad, you're on Pinterest, you're trying to make that, you're on Instagram trying to save things like that. That could be what you're doing, but you're making a vision board. You're bringing in the color of blue into your vision board. You're trying to really, and like I said, envision what it is that you want to change in your life, what you're letting go of, how you want your situation to look like. That could be something that you're focusing in on for this week. Like I said, it could be electronic, or it could be like you're actually sitting at a table cutting magazines up or whatnot to make your vision board. Okay, so we have your affirmation for the week and your question for the week. And like I said, here are some examples of like the answers you can get for this. I'll explain if I need to. Otherwise, I'm going to put this to the side for right now while you think of your question while I am pulling your affirmation. But after I'm done with the affirmation, I'm going to start shuffling just for a little bit, and I'll pull a card there if you happen to have a question that you want answered for this week. Okay, but what is your affirmation for this week? And you can use it for the whole week. You can use it every day you wake up and before you go to sleep, or you can just use it for this video if you want to say it after you hear your full reading. Totally up to you. What is your affirmation for this week? Today, I'm filled with energy and overflowing with joy. So some of you might be having to do either yoga or moving your body. You need to be thinking of joy. You might be having to do a vision board about what brings you like energy, what brings you joy, versus setting up your defenses. So remember to say, today I am filled with energy and overflowing with joy. And really think about what makes you joyful, what makes you happy, and add that to your vision board as well. And that could also be what you want to end. What are the situations that you want to end that's going to bring you joy? I get the feeling some of you might be getting drained by somebody, and you kind of want that person to finally walk out of your life, but you need to be the strong one and need to push them out and be like, you're not good for me. But they could be draining your energy, so you need to be, doing affirmations to say that you are filled with energy and you're not going to let anyone, set your defenses up. All right, answer to your question. An answer to your question. I hope you've been thinking about it. Think about your question. It's going to be, it's this one, hidden underneath everything. We have unlikely. It could just mean unlikely or not right now. It's unlikely because you don't have faith in the process. An unlikely outcome. But you see that the cord isn't completely snapped here. And we have that full moon here. That means if some of you are doing like a cord cutting ceremony and you're like, is it going to work? It's unlikely if the cord isn't actually cut. Like, this is something that some of you have to do a ceremony for. This is something that, you might participate in a ceremony. If someone is doing a ritual of that nature on that night and you want to sign up for it, you have to, in tune with it. You have to have faith in it. You have to be, actively trying to heal yourself for the process to work. Okay, Taurus, that was your reading for this week. Your vibe check for this week of February 13th. Let me know what you thought of your reading. I love to read your comments. Let me know what you think of the style of this video by liking, subscribing, sharing it with a friend. I do appreciate it, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello, Geminis. It is your turn. Let us find out what major arcana will be guiding you through this week of February 13th. What major arcana is calling to you, Gemini? Let us see. Definitely this one. Come here. We have the moon. This might be very significant to you for this week. We have a little bit Pisces energy coming into here. Some water, some psychic abilities, trusting your intuition. Be very significant for you because we have the full moon in Leo coming up. I want to say the 16th, Wednesday, February 16th. So those vibes could be getting to you. You may be wanting to do a ritual under that night if you want to, or to cleanse your space. Tapping into that wild energy within you. Like I said, trusting your intuition, tapping into that wild beast energy, understanding that you are connected to the divine and you no longer hold fear. When you are shielded in the darkness, like when you are coated in darkness, like you're no longer fearful of that. You don't fear the unknown. You're actually growing stronger because of it. You're finding your way, you're finding your path and your light this week. Okay, and if there is some sort of ritual you want to do, a cleansing ritual of your space or your tools, crystals, charging them up, just be aware that the full moon is coming this week. So, you know, keep some tabs on the energy of the full moon in Leo happening. So let us find out, Gemini, what it is that you need to surrender for this week. What does Gemini need to surrender for this week? Surrender your need to always be right. Give others the gift of letting them be right. Be yielding, not rigid. This will help resolve conflicts and improve your relationships. And this could be true in the sense of don't waste your time and energy with your need to always be right, with someone who's going to be just as equally stubborn with having to prove that they are right. That this could be in a relationship where maybe the truth is better not being known in that moment, just as long as you know the truth of the situation, if it means the conflict is done and over with. But this also doesn't mean let people walk over you with like letting them always be right. This is a good balance that you would need to have. This could be between like siblings, lovers, co-workers, just between family members, between friends. You always have someone who's always so stubborn, who always needs to be right, whereas this point you to save your time, your energy, just like, okay, let's move on. Like, I don't care anymore. I'm done with this conversation. I don't want to have to keep proving myself. You know, you can even go as far as like, you know, you're going to separate yourself from them and like give each of you the space you need before you can like see eye to eye about things again. You know, you need to take a break from that for your own sanity. And I just say that and I think about, like, before you turn into a wild beast and, you know, really attack with your words there. Because we know you can, Gemini. You are really great with communication. You're really great with talking things out, and you want to communicate and you want to, like, gather the information and be like, you know, this is why I'm right. But sometimes it's just not worth your time and your energy. You've got other things to do. You've got other things to work on. You don't need to be worrying about what everyone else thinks. Okay, what is the color that is calling to Gemini for this week? What is the color that is calling to Gemini for this week? Oh, we have a winner. That's out. Lavender. Connect to body, mind, and soul. And you know, lavender is really used for relaxation. Some of you may really need to relax. You know, even if you have to schedule some time for it, like even like under that, like that full moon, working with lavender for that night, bringing yourself some peaceful dreams so you can get rid of or get away from like the drama and the chaos for some time. So it's just bringing you peace of mind. Needing to really connect with your mind, body, and soul, see where areas are lacking and what's taking over other areas of your life. Those will be things to really consider. Okay, first tea leaf. Your first tea leaf fortune for Gemini. Unicorn. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. And this is kind of what we're talking about with that person, like, always having to be right. It's more about, like, not wasting your time. Some people are worth the time when you're trying to correct them because you care so much about them, and you're like, no, you have wrong information and I need you to know this. But at the same time, they're their own person. If they're not going to listen to you, don't waste your breath. Start focusing in on something else. Okay, we had these two come out. Let's just do both. This time you guys get both. I saw both. We have got Tiger, doing something risky, taking a chance. Broken wishbone, wish will not be granted. Some of you might be taking, a chance, and your wish will simply not be granted. Pretty simple interpretation right there. Tiger and broken wishbone is you've tried taking a risk and that wish will not be granted, that you want it to happen that way. But you need to trust your intuition. You need to understand, like, instead of wishing for something, where do you have to work towards something? Where do you need to take the chance in one thing and let go of the other thing? Trusting your intuition again to, like, how much you're going to actually put into this conversation between you and the other person with your need to be right this week. Trusting your intuition when it comes to unknown factors, like trusting your guides, your spirit guides, that, you can always fix the problem, but not always putting your faith in wishes as well. That some of you need to take those chances. That's another way for some of you will be that way, because this is a general reading. So some things will resonate to you one way and others won't. So you just have to, like, trust your intuition. What will and what won't work for you. You'll know best in this scenario. Okay, what is some self-care that Gemini can do for this week? What is some self-care? I do see some of you drinking lavender tea. Or wanting to try lavender tea. We have energy work, and this is about their connection to mind, body, and soul. Some of you know about chakras. I'm not well versed in it, but I do know this represents chakras here. So if you do practice work with that, with energy work like that, that might be great for you to kind of like see where, you're lacking, or where areas of your life or your chakras are being blocked right now. Seeing someone who specializes in that to bring your energy back into balance. Some of you just need some meditation under that night of the full moon coming up on Wednesday, on any of those nights, before or afterwards. If you can't do the exact night, that's absolutely fine. For some of you, that might be taking a chance. You've never done that type of work before, and this will be like, okay, but this week I'm going to look into it. I'm going to trust my intuition. I'm going to pick this person, and we're going to do this. A lot of practitioners will have specials that they do, even on YouTube here and on Twitch, and then, where you can also pay to participate. Obviously, prices range, for whatever practitioner you happen to find, and maybe you can participate, and that might be something you're taking a risk on, that you're like, okay, you know what, I've never done this before, but this is my sign to maybe give it a try. If maybe you're a very stubborn person who's like, this will never work, and this is why, this or that, this could be this opportunity to, like, nope, cut that out, take the risk, try it out, and see what happens. Okay. Here's your affirmation. We're going to pull an affirmation for you, but while I'm shuffling, pulling that, reading that out there, I'm going to put these to the side, and after we're done with the affirmation, I will pull this, and this is really great for a question. If you have a question you want to ask and you kind of want a direct answer, I will explain if I need to for these cards, but they're pretty straightforward. But you can think of your question now as I shuffle this one, and then I will pull a card for that, for you, for Gemini. All right, Gemini, what do you need to hear right now? What do you need to affirm for this week? Oh, there we go. More moon phases. My body is a wondrous and magnificent machine, and I feel privileged to live in it. So a lot of what might be happening here is that you need to strengthen, like, intuition for, like, your soul and your mind connecting, but a lot of you might be neglecting then your body. And so this affirmation is for those who feel like you might be neglecting your body. Of my body is wondrous and a magnificent machine, and I feel privileged to live in it. That you need to reconnect with your body, and this is probably why you need some energy work. Feel it, because a lot of this time, even you're just sitting there, you're not really focusing on energy, you're feeling your bodies. Maybe some of you, I know you don't have wishbone, but maybe some of you have some broken bones that you've been trying to like deal with that you need to go back and, you know, seek professional help or talk to your doctor about. Take that risk, that chance. Keep that in mind. And then here we go. Oh, think of your question. Here we go. Here's the answer to your question. No need to worry. The answer is no need to worry. So whatever you're worrying about, whatever is bringing you anxiety, no need to worry. Things are going to work out for what is best. This is why you're taking a chance. It's going to work out for what's best. And if it doesn't happen, if your wish is not granted, it means it wasn't meant for you. But the divine is watching out for you. Okay, Gemini, that was your reading for this week, your weekly vibe check. Let me know what you thought of this reading. Please drop a comment, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello, Cancer. It is your turn. Okay. Ooh, right away, what major arcana was calling to Cancer? And we have Judgment flying out of the deck for this week, for your weekly vibe check. Okay, so Judgment, ruled by Pluto, of endings, transformations related to Scorpio energy. This could also be a connection between you and the divine, a connection with a greater power, seeking protection. For some of you, this might be a spiritual awakening for this week. It might be significant since we have the full moon in Leo coming up on the 16th. So this could be where you're awakening your powers, awakening your connection with the divine, doing some spiritual work. Some of you might be talking with your ancestors, putting out offerings for your ancestors this week. But also some of you, this is about judgment, literally with the word judgment, about against yourself, against others, basically minding your own business, not letting the others, like other people judging you, so it's like draining your energy because you're trying to keep up. It's more of setting things at your own pace. Being aware of your own time, your own energy, and where you're going to put your energy into, like what projects, what people, situations are going to get your passions, your desires, where, you know, and don't have any judgment about like your path. If someone else is progressing further along than you and you've been putting all this work, why is it not working? This is about gaining more information and connecting with the divine. Okay, and believing in divine timing. And don't judge others. Don't let the words of others like hurt you when you're trying to like get things done. Criticism is never welcomed when you didn't ask for it, you know. So if someone's like out there judging your work, judging how you're doing things, and you did not ask for that judgment, tell them to shut it, and you'll take care of it on your own time. So you could be setting boundaries this week, Cancer. Okay. What do you need to surrender for this week? What does Cancer need to surrender for this week? There we go. Surrender negative thinking. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. So some of you might be, and we see like the chanting and spell work from a book, need to bring up a book that, you know, helps you change your negative thinking patterns, what triggers like your negative thinking, what brings on these harsh judgments to yourself, you know, realizing that the negative thoughts are there, but maybe they're coming from yourself, or they're echoing other people's words this week. Like, is someone else's negative thoughts bringing you down as well? And do you need to cut that from your life, from your thought process, and how you go about that? That'll be very strong for you for this week, Cancer, is really registering these negative thoughts, but trying to pass them through. And some of you might need professional help, and you're trying to get through this, and that's absolutely fine. Ask for help, find a mentor. If you need to, seek therapy. There's nothing wrong with that, because it can go deeper than just, you know, saying hello and goodbye basically to these negative thoughts. And you'll have to trust your intuition, your guides, if you can do that. Okay. Let us find out what color is calling to Cancer for this week. What color is calling to you? What color? Oh, there we go. Sapphire. Regenerate your body. Okay, so some of these negative thoughts might be around your body and you need to rejuvenate yourself. I was talking about feeling like a zombie, feeling tired, feeling drained, feel like someone's sucking up your energy, your time. They might be a very negative person as well. Their negative thoughts are starting to trigger your negative thoughts, and you need to surround yourself with people who are more uplifting. Think about members of your community, of your family and friends who you associate with, you know, and the color sapphire might bring you more calm, might bring you to be able to register your body more, your movements more, finding out what's draining you, and even negative thoughts that could be draining you. So sapphire is your color. Let us grab your first tea leaf candle. Oh, wow. Okay, that was super quick. We have dog barking, advice from a friend, and being wary of where you're seeking this advice from. You know, like advice from a friend. Is this from your ancestors as well? Because we have the spirits and the souls. You're kind of connect with them this week. Making sure it's coming from a good place. You know, who are your friends in this situation? Who can you trust? Who can you ask for advice? And like I said, I just see a lot of things going on this week with you trying to weed out negativity. Okay, I had another one just that caught my attention because it flipped out. Period of prosperity and abundance, asking for this advice, connecting with your body, really shredding these negative thoughts about yourself, Cancer, can bring you a period of prosperity and abundance. And yes, financial prosperity, being able to afford bread, afford groceries, be in the works for you this week. Abundance can just be an abundance of positive thoughts coming your way. And it's not because you're trying to get rid and like not acknowledge your shadow side or your negative thoughts. This is not just love and light type of situation. This isn't that at all. This is just more bringing in more positivity when you see negativity, being more aware of it, that you're always thinking negative thoughts about the situation. So what can you do to fix that situation? And these could just be starting steps. When you're seeking advice from a friend, they could be recommending a book, a therapist, or, you know, information of where you can find this. This could be a message from your ancestors that are trying to give you this so they can push prosperity and abundance and protection towards you as well. Some of you for that full moon may want to leave an offering for them. Okay, maybe an offering of bread, of sweet bread, of something to them. They may be asking for that so that they can bless you then as well. Okay, what is some self-care? Let me grab your self-care cards, Cancer. What is some self-care you could do for this week? Self-care. Oh, okay, no, didn't want that. Some self-care. We're going to pick this one. Spend time with animals. And it's funny we see that because we have a dog barking here. Some of you need to spend some time with the dog, with your dog. Maybe you have a stuffed animal, you know, that you keep around, or it's for your children and you need to like have some playtime, spending some time with animals, spending some time outside. Some of you, if you don't have any animals or are allergic and you can't actually be around them and you don't, and you can't maybe even go to a shelter and volunteer your time to spend time with animals, can go on YouTube here and like find videos of cute animals and maybe watch them, you know, spending some time with that. And also for some of you, the advice from a friend, some of you might be being visited, as we see from like the Judgment card. If you're visited from the divine, from your ancestors, and that could also be past animals that might be visiting in your dreams, sending you a message or trying to let you know that they are there, they're watching over you and protecting you. Okay, all right, we got your affirmation cards. Okay, while I grab your affirmation and do your affirmation, if there's a question you've been itching to ask, this is your opportunity to do so. You can think of your question. Again, these are like examples of what could be answered, and I will explain if needed. So you can think of your question if you have a question to ask, and I will pull those after we do the affirmation. But if you need some time to think about it, if you don't have a question, that's absolutely fine. You don't need to participate for that part. You can just, you know, dip out after the affirmation. That's absolutely fine. Oh, okay. That wanted out. More moon phases. Oh, not that. This one. Thank you. I am deeply loved by the universe. It says, I am deeply loved by the universe. We see a hugging motion. We see the hands coming together. Deeply loved by nature, by your animals, by, you know, the universe is watching out for you. They're trying to guide you. They're sending you, like I said, that sign. Some of you might be going through that spiritual awakening and connecting with the universe as well. But keep that in mind. Your affirmation for the day, for this video, or for this whole week, for your Bible week check, could be, I am deeply loved by the universe. All right. I hope you're thinking of your question. If you have a question to ask, Cancer, let us find out what the answer will be. Yes. If this is your sign, you were asking to do something, you know, obviously that brings no harm to yourself or to others. It is yes. You're a sign for that. And it's interesting because we see the moon here, we see that moon phase over here, so very symbolic here. And that was your reading for this weekly vibe check. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of this video. I appreciate you being here. Make sure to do all the good stuff like share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will catch you guys. Oh, drop me a comment too. What did you think of this reading? Let me know how you like the style. All right, Cancer, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello, Leo. How are you doing today? This is your weekly vibe check for February 13th. Let us find out what, Major Arcana is calling to Leo. Very interesting that we get Strength, which is ruled by Leo. So double Leo action. So Leo, this week could be something that you need to endure. It's going to make you stronger. You're going to come up with new resources, new creative processes. You're going to be conquering fears this week. You're going to become friends with beasts, with animals of that nature. This is a test of heart and strength and endurance. For some of you, you might be going through some tough times right now, and you'll just be gaining a lot of wisdom of the situation, so you could hopefully get through it faster or never again if it's something that you can try to prevent, or you'll just be more aware of the situation. But this, and I would say this doesn't relate to physical strength, but some of you might be wanting to build physical strength this week, might be trying something new, getting into working out, testing the strength of your body. For some of you, though, this is more of just enduring. It's more about having patience and conquering fears. And we have double crown because we have Persephone there with the crown with infinity over her head, which I know my camera sucks, so sorry about that. But crown and crown energy, feeling very much like royalty this week. Okay. Grab all the cards for my Leos. Leo, what do you need to surrender this week? Okay. Leo, what do you need to surrender this week for success, for abundance, for prosperity? What is it that you need to surrender? Oh, yes. Okay, we got one. We have another powerful pose here. Surrender to wonder and awe. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. Surrender to wonder and awe. Some of you need to see the beauty in everyday life. Some of you, it's more of like, okay, so you might be going through really tough times. You don't see the little joys in life. You don't see what kind of picks you up. You don't see the beauty. This is your sign to really look back and look deeper into that beauty, into that wonder and awe of the world. See the little bit of mundane magic as well, like very subtle magic that's going on around you. Remember that you are magic yourself. You've got powers within you that you should be exploring, strength of heart that you should be exploring. And, you know, it's just like about changing your attitude up, how you're seeing things, finding your strengths. And this could be 3 to 4 strengths. As we see here, different skills you want to work on. Okay, let us find out the color for Leo for this week. What color is calling to Leo? What color is calling to Leo for this week? Oh, I see that color went out. We have pink. Let love in. And I know it's a little hard because I actually have a pink light on right now. Very funny. I say that because I'm a Leo sun. There's a lot of pink on the strength card too. Pinks and purples and reds. There's a little bit of pink in this card too. So pink is the color that is calling to you, that wants to be seen, wants to surround yourself with, wants you to feel that love for yourself. Some of you need to have more faith and strength in your love. The love for yourself, the love for magic, the love for the spirit, for the divine, for your ancestors, for your partners, for like friends and family, like letting that love in, letting it shine through. Okay, but pink is your color for this week, Leo. Oh, okay. And you have vacation. Some of you need a vacation. It could be a stay-at-home vacation. You need to have that moment. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could be planning this week to have a nice vacation, a nice break from reality, so you can see the joy and beauties, because work might have been testing your limits, and you're just like, okay, well, I need a break. And some of you can't leave, or you don't want to leave, you don't want to travel, so you're going to have to make that little piece of vacation there at home. Also, with letting love in, I just realized that, this week we have February 14th, Valentine's Day, if you choose to celebrate that, or it's more about letting love in just for that day, or accepting love for yourself, doing things nicely for yourself. And maybe expecting a gift that's in pink flowers even, since there is tulips. I think those are tulips on this card. And we have Mountain Road. You are on the road to success. Okay, so like we see a mountain, definitely relates to strength. Climbing that mountain, enduring this change, enduring and having the patience to do so. Again, Leo, you're on the path to success. Some of you might have inspiration, and that's why you need to have this kind of vacation, this mental break, to have this joy and bring this joy back into your life, so you can have that big idea that will lead you onto the road to success. It's just inspiration like that. And some of you might actually be going on a trip, on a vacation, on a road trip even, maybe a road trip into the mountains for inspiration. All right, let us find a self-care for Leo. What is a self-care idea that Leo can do? Okay. Okay, so we have build strength. There seems to be a predominant theme here for Leo, which is building strength. And we see strength in this way of two ways. So the first one is the obvious, like going to work out, working out your body, strengthening yourself, doing what you can, even just making sure to move around if you can do so, getting your body more flexible and moving, starting the process. The second is like building your psychic strength, building that third eye muscle, testing your psychic abilities out there, Leo. That could be what is something that's being called for you to do. Trusting your intuition, as we see this person has their eyes shut, but their third eye is open. Trusting your guides, trusting your path, trusting that you're on the road to success. So, but it also could just be as simple as some of you need to go to the gym. You need to go to the gym, you need to go work out. You need to move your body. Even if it is at least planning a workout regimen for yourself, something that you can start, something that's easy for you to accomplish, setting goals, and believing in yourself. Okay, so I have your affirmation here, and I'm also going to put these to the side, so while I'm doing the affirmation for you, you can think of a question, what you would like to ask Leo, if you have one. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. You can dip out after the affirmations, totally cool. These are some of the examples of the answers you can get, and I will explain to it if necessary. Otherwise, they're pretty straightforward, and that could be like a yes or no tailored question. But let us find out what affirmation Leo needs for this week. What is the affirmation that Leo needs this week? Which also, Leo, now that I remember this, there is a full moon, which I don't know if I brought this up, full moon. I want to make sure I do. Full moon in Leo, actually, the 16th. If you want to plan to do something there, like starting to build your strength on those days. Like your psychic, your third eye as well. Okay. Your affirmation is, I love and accept myself as I am and everything in my life works. I love and accept myself as I am and everything in my life works. That belief in yourself, the belief in your strength, your endurance, your patience. We see lips in here speaking it. We have the lion's roar coming into mind, speaking it out, having that belief in yourself and in how everything is working out in your favor, to have that belief. And then you'll be on the road to success, letting that love in. Okay, so here's the question time. Give this a few good shuffles before we pick your answer. Okay, what is the answer to your question, Leo? It is this one. Get more information. And we have that full moon vibe coming straight in there since we see the moon on that card, but maybe you need to get more information. This could be asking your guides on the night of the full moon. Some of you working with your grimoire, your book of shadows, seeing there's information in there. For others of you, this could just be gaining some books, going knowledge. Maybe on that day you go to a library, doing some research online. It could be working out, like strength building. It could be vacation planning. You're getting more information, how to plan your vacation, that sort of thing. If you're planning a trip, what roads you're going to take. So, and that could be just, whatever your situation is about, you don't have all the information just yet. So having the strength and patience to endure, to wait before you make your decision now. Okay, so that is your reading, Leo. Let me know what you thought of this reading. Drop a comment. I love to read them. Make sure you do the fun stuff of like, share, subscribe to the channel if you like these style of readings. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello, Virgo. It is your turn. Okay, let us find out what major arcana is calling to Virgo for this week, for your weekly vibe check. What major arcana wants to guide you this week? Wants or needs to guide you this week? Will be present for you for this week. Oh yeah, this one. That's the one. Okay, Virgo, we have the Hermit, ruled by Virgo. So double Virgo energy going on here. So the Hermit is a guiding light in the darkness. There's someone who has the information and wants to be able to help others, but others are reaching towards the Hermit. So this is something that, like Virgos love to help. They love to plan. They are meticulous, right? The Hermit knows this. They are that guiding light, that guiding force, and that might be the role you play this week. For some of you, you want to be careful about who's draining you this week, who's constantly asking you for help to the point it feels like you're doing the project or you're doing it for them. Making sure you have those boundaries set up, okay? Making sure that they can't basically, in this imagery, tip over your boat because they want more of you. You have to be setting those boundaries. But you are a guiding force of light and can be of service and help to others. Okay, let us find out, what do you need to surrender this week, Virgo? What do you need to surrender? Okay. Nope, yes, nope. You know what? It wanted out. It's close enough. Surrender your belief in scarcity. Okay. The universe is asking you to open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, You can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. So what this is kind of implying here is like you're constantly always like taking less than what you deserve because you feel like there's not enough to go around. You don't feel like you also deserve that abundance. You don't deserve, deserve a raise or more time for something, or you just kind of like live in a world where you're just trying to be very minimalistic in areas of your life that shouldn't be minimalistic, like asking for an abundance of love, asking for prosperity, asking and getting more money, making sure you research or figure out your relationship to money, how you feel about having more money. Do you feel like it's going to change you for the good or for the better, or good or better, I mean for the bad, for the better or for worse is what I meant to say. Like how can it help you in like really challenging your beliefs in that, challenging your belief in scarcity, and making sure like you don't believe that you deserve less. Okay, that there is enough to go around for you, that you don't, like, if you feel like a market or like something is oversaturated, you feel like, well, I don't belong there, there's so many people there. You will always have your unique twist to add to it, so don't do something because you feel like, there's already too many people there. You are, like I said, I get this really big vibe. You are meant to teach. You're meant to share your knowledge. People are asking for it, and you are a guiding force in very dark times because you know how to handle situations and you know how to read people very well. All right, let us find out what color is calling to you this week, Virgo. What color is calling to Virgo this week? This one, Jade. And I know you're an earth sign, Virgo, so green might be a calling card to you just in general. But we have take action. We have nature. Taking action, like instead of sitting there and, holding yourself back, you're going to take action this week. But the color jade is there to represent that action, represent that motion to get you going. We've got like the boat moving through green jade like waters. Okay, so this could be a real hint for you, Virgo, is the time to take that action. Let us get your first tea leaf. Okay, hold on. We have the bull. The bull wanted out. Do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. That taking action, booming in here, taking that action as the hermit. And I was saying, like, if there's something you've been wanting to do, but you feel like it's oversaturated, or you feel like, hey, I can't do this because there's so many other people here. You feel like there's going to be pushback, so you'd rather just like sit back and enjoy the show. This is your sign to take action and to not back down. You have the planning powers. People want to hear from you. They want your guidance. They want to know what you have to share. There's always a market for something out there. Let us find out your other tea leaf. Let's see if anyone wants to come out of the deck. Nope. And this one. Tent. Temporary situation. There might be a temporary time period for you to do this. Some of you, I just got the feeling, if you're going camping at all, if you're going out staying in a tent or like shifting homes, it's only temporary. Got the tent with the nature and the trees in the background. Temporary moving. You have a backpack moving in this situation here. But for some of you, it's just a temporary situation. Also, opposition, if they're trying to fight you, it's a temporary pushback because they want to test if you're serious about what it is that you want to do. All right, self-care. What is some self-care that Virgo can do for this week? Oh, whoosh. When that happens. That's too many cards. We did have, we have one card that flipped out, though, that was on its own over there. We have write a gratitude list. So some of you need to be able to see your accomplishments, and this is, we're talking about you being really great planners, Virgo. You need to write your accomplishments. You need to write what you're grateful for to really see, like, also, because some of you might be feeling, like, very in a dark place right now. You could feel like, because you know, have this belief in scarcity. Camera, please stop. You might be believing that you are alone in your endeavors, that, you know, it's just you against them. And it's like, there's things to be gratitude for, to be happy and thankful for. There are things and people and situations and your skills to be happy for that will help you take the action and the next momentum to get you back on your path, Virgo. Okay, let me grab your affirmation. And while I shuffle your affirmation, you can think of a question you've been wanting to ask if you have one. I'll put these to the side for right now, and after we pick the affirmation for you for this week or for this day, I will pull this and explain the card if I need to. Some of them are very straightforward answers. But let us find out, what is your affirmation while you think of a question. What is the affirmation for Virgo? Okay. A little mint green action going on there. Today is a sacred gift from life. And this could be like having, like I said, taking that action, the abundance of life, knowing that you have momentum, that you can move forward. Today is a sacred gift from life, and something you can write on your gratitude list as well. All right, let us get to the question portion of the reading for your weekly vibe check. For your weekly question, if you happen to have one, let us find out. We have one that wanted out. Okay. Choose a new direction. And we have the moon in here, and we do have the full moon in Leo coming up on the 16th. So this could be an opportunity for you to do these things under the full moon if you want to. For some of you, you need to see the situation differently. You need a different perspective. And that could be why, like, this situation is very temporary. You need to be able to see it from a new perspective to change your perspective. Taking that action that is required. For some of you, it's because you need more research. You know, you need to spend more time doing that. Okay, Virgo, that was your reading for this weekly vibe check. Let me know what you thought. Drop a comment. I do appreciate it. Make sure to, you know, like, share, subscribe this video. Like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like the video, share it with a friend. If you enjoy the style of reading, thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello, Libra. Welcome on in. It is your turn. I'm like, do we already have one? No, we don't. Let us find out what major arcana is calling to our Libras out there today. What major arcana is trying to guide you this week of February 13th? What major arcana? Okay, we have a winner. We have the Fool coming in here. So new beginnings, fresh starts, being, connected to the divine. Perhaps a little bit of a rebellious nature, heading in a direction no one saw you were going, starting a new path. You have everything that you need. Looking to the night sky, we have that full moon. This could be happening around the night of the full moon. We have a full moon coming up on the 16th, the full moon in Leo. So you might be connecting with the divine that way, connecting with the stars, asking and initiating a new path. So great things happening this week for you, just new beginnings. And don't feel foolish about starting something new. Don't feel, like, this is something that you can't do, because we have the Fool coming in here, and you may be doing this via non-traditional means. There's things that, would be what others would expect from you, or what society themselves would expect from you. And you're going to be different. You're going to be unique, and have a good week with that. Testing the waters with that, but don't feel foolish about it, because you got to start somewhere. All right, Libra, what do you need to surrender for this week? What do you need to surrender? Oh, okay. Surrender negative thinking. So if you've been feeling foolish about this new path, this is telling you don't feel foolish. You have to start somewhere. So surrender negative thinking. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. So this week you might want to tell yourself a positive affirmation, a new one or the same one that really resonates with you every day for this week. You want to set like those negative thoughts aflame. You might want to write them out and burn them safely on the night of the full moon, and like cleanse your house, cleanse your space and energy, welcoming fresh new beginnings for you, accepting this new path. And for some of you, that is dealing with negative thoughts. This is dealing and figuring out where the negative thoughts are coming from and how you can handle them. If you need to, some of you might be starting a new path, finding like therapy, finding a doctor that can help you professionally with this. If you feel like it's a step you need to take in that direction, you're starting a path there. Okay, let me grab the color. What color is calling to Libra this week? What color is calling to Libra this week? Oh, okay. Lilac, strengthening your faith. And we have like this purple shade going through all of this. So we have strengthening your faith in the divine. Like I said, you are spiritually protected and being guided by your spirit team, your ancestors, your guides. Some of you like strengthening your faith in yourself, strengthening the faith that you know how to deal with these negative thoughts. Again, thank you for sharing and finding an affirmation that really like sticks to you, that is strengthening your heart and your belief. Okay, let's get your tea leaf. Oh, we have woman. Dealings or relationship with a woman. Okay, so this could be a woman that is close to you, a woman that might be helping you. Some of you, like I said, if you're finding like a therapist or a doctor, you might be leaning towards someone who has more feminine energy with them. Or you're looking specifically for a woman to kind of like help you and mentor you. For some of you, you might have fresh new beginnings with a woman. It is Valentine's Day on Monday. For some of you, whoever might be celebrating that, who choose to, you might be meeting someone then or spending time with them. Let us find out more. Also, it could be strengthening your faith, may also be strengthening like your faith with your guides, and that guide might be an ancestor who is a woman, or has feminine qualities or feminine energy. And we've got coins. Money will be coming to you. That is nice. There's nothing wrong with that at all whatsoever. Money, you could be dealing with a woman and she ends up paying you something, like it's a service that you provide for them. Like if you're working and you're starting like a business up this week, you know, like shedding all those negative thoughts about that business and being like, no, I can do this, I have faith in it. And your first client could be a woman, and you know, exchange the money for the service, for the product or the item, you know, and that could be where it's coming in for this week for some of you. Okay, let us find out some self-care that Libra can do for this week. Okay. Connect with fire. So some of you need to connect with that energy of fire. And I was talking about that earlier. Like if you have negative thoughts, maybe you need to have like a ceremony under the full moon. If you have a safe place where you can burn like sheets of paper, or not sheets, but like little scraps of paper where you're writing those negative thoughts and wanting to burn them into like oblivion, like, you know, shred it. You're cleansing it from your train of thought. Some of you might need to do that, or just connect with fire, which fire is creativity. It is energy work. It is, you know, a connection with like what sets your soul aflame and having faith in that process. Fire is your element. And with Libra being an air sign, air and fire feed very well into each other and can help lift and grow each other, while if you're maintaining it and keeping it fixed. Fixed and steady, I should say. Oh, hold on. So okay, so I have your affirmation, and I have these little cards here, which have like these type of answers. This is great for yes or no style questions. So if you have a yes or no question and choose to participate, I will be pulling that after we do your affirmation. But if you need this time to either pause the video or, you know, think of your question, if you don't have one just yet, you can think of your question now while I shuffle your affirmation, and then I'll shuffle those a little bit, and then we'll pull an answer to your question. And I will explain if I need to. Some of them are very straightforward, so. Okay, what is the affirmation for Libra? And this could be that positive affirmation you may need for every time these negative thoughts come up. This could just be something you want to use for this video, like say it with me, say it after I do, that sort of stuff. Or you can use this affirmation every day this week, whenever and however you feel comfortable in doing so. Today is a sacred gift from life. And that could be very strong. That's why you're having faith into the universe, strength for life, strength, and faith is believing that, you know, today is a sacred gift. Some of you, that's because you're changing your life so much that you're starting a whole new path, a new beginning, changing, even some of you might be changing your identity, changing your path. Yeah, so we have that. Today is a sacred gift from life. Okay, and now I'm shuffling for your question, so think of your question if you haven't done so already. Okay. This one. Not the right time. So things aren't right yet, which is interesting because Libra, when it comes to the major arcana, is related to justice, which is about divine timing. So you're going to know internally, like, right now is not the right time for this. This isn't, and we have this very interesting, it's like the same symbol here and there, that right now is not the right time. It doesn't mean no, it just means not yet. If for something, like, instead of going full force, like, remember, you are just beginning, so you can't expect to be like a master at something. Like, you have to start small and grow big. You might be thinking of like the end goal and wanting to start there instead of taking these smaller steps that will lead to that bigger goal, and you'll be reaching that. Okay, Libra, that was your reading. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know, drop a comment. I love to read your comments. And remember to share, like, and subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome on in. Let us find out what major arcana is calling to you for this week of February 13th for your weekly vibe check. We have the Tower. Some Mars energy going on there, and traditionally, I know Mars, I will say modern-wise, rules over Aries, but traditionally has also been seen to rule over Scorpio and Aries. So we have that Mars coming in there. So we have an element of surprise coming in this week, an element of surprise that can feel like it's turning your world upside down, right? It's going to uproot everything in your life, but this could be more of a striking like idea, a new philosophy, a new thought, and you can either embrace it or let it crush you. So that's more of the situation of the Tower coming in here, is that because the foundation isn't right, that we need to destroy the foundation to rebuild it. And you don't want to spend more time on something that will not give you fulfillment this week. So something needs to come crashing down so you can rebuild it into something that actually could be beneficial from you. And this could be a new idea that comes out of nowhere that you just heard or whatever, that is a sign given to you that is more like, okay, unfortunately what you've been doing isn't working. And if you try to keep persisting into it, it's just going to lead down a path of just energy draining, of just like, oh my God, just like so much chaotic energy that you don't know what to do with, and it'll just bring more stress. So it's better to let it go now. Let it go and rebuild from the ashes. Okay, let us find out, what does Scorpio need to surrender this week? Scorpio, what do you need to surrender? Surrender to trust right away. The thought process of surrendering to the process, with the trust in the universe. We have trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. So surrender to trust in yourself, trust in the divine, trust that, you know how to handle the situation so you can calmly take care of it, and not other people who are kind of come bearing down and kind of add, like I said, more chaotic energy to your day or to your week, right? more of like, you know how to handle the situation. You have trust and faith in yourself. You know, you're going to do the right amount of research. You're going to see what paths you can take. You're not just going to blindly accept what's happening. You're not one to sit there and like let things just happen. You can adapt quickly to the change. And the color that is calling out to Scorpio this week, gray. Learn to scan your body. You know, when that saying goes, like, if you're talking to someone and you feel uneasy, you know, and like this could be like the person who's like giving their strong opinions, but like that saying, if someone makes you feel uneasy, you trust your gut. Like, you're not just, you're gonna separate yourself from them. You know, trust your gut if like you're understanding your path. You know, for some of you, gray is just a comfort color. Like, you can take on the, I've always said, like, people are like, you know, dress in your clothing, make it comfortable, and you can do so much and take on the world in comfort clothes. You know, get that vibe from this one, from the shade of gray. It's a very strong comfort color. So yeah, keep that in mind. Let me grab this while we keep talking. Your tea leaf right there, your first tea leaf fortune. But yeah, we have that, and we have, it's interesting because we have gray on a person over here too. Someone who's like seen the end and probably can flip themselves over to land, you know, because they can handle the situation. They're being cool and calm and collected about it. We have rainbow. The most difficult part of a situation is over. So this week, you're going to kind of go through this if you're not already going through this. And then it will be over soon. It will be over soon. It's nothing to be too harsh about yourself. It may seem like it. At the surface, it might be like information that was sent to you. And this could be, like I said, it's going to turn your world upside down. But at the end of it, you'll know how to get through it. We have, okay, right away. That one wanted to flip out. We have got carriage. A journey, either physical or mental. And this could be like, you know, we were talking about that path of, you know, this destruction coming through, more of a mental path, because like it can destroy you mentally if this thing is changing. And then you take that deep breath and you trust your decisions. You trust that you can turn things around. You can make the best out of the situation. That, you know, that might be the hardest time this week for you to process that and get over that, you know, and be like, okay, I can take things on again. For some of you, I'm sorry, I just thought of the rainbow bridge from Mario Kart. You know, the cart on there, like that's the one of the hardest like, you know, maps on there if you play Mario Kart. So that's what I was just thinking of. Like, it'll be done and over soon. But some of you might be going on a journey. You need to trust your gut where you need to go. Some of you, this might be moving. Like, you know, you're having to find somewhere to move this week. You need to trust in this situation. Trust that you know how to gather your stuff and move to a new place. And pick everything back up again. All right, Scorpio, what is some self-care you can do this week? Definitely need some self-care coming in this week. What can Scorpio do for some self-care? If you have that moment of peace and solitude. Okay, I'll take the top one. Make an altar. Some of you need to be making an altar out there. And it's interesting because you see this person here is like almost praying to, looks like they're praying to nature. Hands folded in, you know, making an altar to your ancestors, to your guides. Like we see the roots, we see family being uprooted here as well. Your ancestors are asking for an offering. Some of you need to go visit their graves. We have gray, like the tombstones. Some of you need to like spruce up. Like we have like the rainbow kind of being present there. We have the rainbow here. Maybe you need to add rainbow colors to your altar. Some of you just need to build an altar, just like overall to your deities, to your ancestors, to yourself, somewhere where it gives you that peace of mind to have that moment to yourself. You may as well, like if it is covered in gray, maybe some light gray or different shades of gray where you can do pops of colors on it. So keep that in mind. All right, I have your affirmation. And while I'm shuffling and picking through your affirmation, if you would like to participate, you can think of a question you would like to ask. These are like a little bit of the examples of the type of questions you can, or the type of answers you can get. Some are very straightforward. Otherwise, I will explain if necessary, if needed. And otherwise, like you could think of your question while I'm shuffling this one. I will spend a few moments shuffling that, but if you need more time, you can always pause the video too. All right, what is the affirmation that Scorpio needs for this week? That's too many. Just one affirmation that Scorpio can use for this day, for this week. When times you're feeling tough, you need to say this to yourself. All right, take the top one. What you seek is seeking you. So I got that feeling, especially for someone who might be having to move, someone who has to like move things or like change homes or a new place of business. What you're seeking is seeking you too. Like it's going to come into an alignment. And like I said, some of you might be wanting to show your gratitude or your thanks to the universe and to yourself by putting that altar up. But what you seek is seeking you. And it's interesting because we have that hand imagery. We have hands there. We have hands here. So it's a lot of like things coming together, getting hands on your project as well. Okay, Scorpio. Here is the answer to your question. Oh, we see we have one who wants out. The answer is, this is the sign, and look at that, more hands being present here. And I always get a lot of questions with this one of, this is the sign for what? Well, trust your instincts. How did you finish that in your head? This is the sign I shouldn't, or this is the sign I should. Now, right away, I will say this is more of, like, after you kind of like, well, before I say anything else, what was the first initial thought you had? This is the sign I should, or this is the sign I shouldn't? And kind of like trust your intuition. And for those who still need more information, continue listening on. This is typically a sign of affirmation, of yes, this is a sign. Something's being given to you. You are accepting it. We have like, what is seeking you? What you seek is seeking you. It's like being given a gift. Okay, you're being given this gift. So this is about affirmation. Or this isn't affirmation. This is a yes. This is a sign for positivity and for yes. To do what it is that you ask. It's like yes. Okay, Scorpio, that is your reading. Let me know what you thought of it. Drop a comment. I love to read your comment. And make sure you do the fun YouTube stuff of share, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I know you know what that is. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye. Sagittarius, welcome on in. Happy to have you here. Oh, almost had a card there. All right, let us find out what is the major arcana that is calling to Sagittarius for this weekly vibe check. What is calling to Sagittarius at this moment? What wants to be present for this week? Who wants to be in Sagittarius business this week? The High Priestess. Interesting. High Priestess is connected to the moon, and we have a full moon in Leo coming up on Wednesday. So this full moon could be very significant for your Sagittarius out there. This is about trusting in your intuition, trusting in the unknown, that you are getting downloads, but you don't know where they're coming from, and how you inherently just know things, but you have no explanation of how or why you know things. This isn't information that you actively know that's being passed down to you, like through a textbook, through generations, through non-spiritual means. You're getting information being passed on to you through spiritual means, through your guides. You could be connecting with your spirit guides, your ancestors, anything on the other side very highly this week. This week, your psychic powers could be up and tuned. But the High Priestess is here to let you know to trust that intuition, trust that guide. And this can also be for some of you needing to do the pros and cons of certain situations this week, needing to see both ends before you make that decision. It is about patience then. It's about not rushing into things and really, looking at both sides before you make a decision. Okay? Let me grab the surrender cards. There we go. We need to find out now, what does Sagittarius need to surrender for this week? Okay, what does Sagittarius need to surrender this week? No. one more time. There we go. Surrender comparison with other people. Keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. Basically minding your own business, which the High Priestess is very attuned in doing. So it's very much more of focusing in on your own power, what gives you strength, what, you know, your progression, and not caring about other people's path. This is minding your own business. With Sagittarius, I know you can do very well, but this might be more of an inner voice that's kind of like maybe coming out and it's been like judging you. Like, you don't say it out loud, you don't talk to other people about it, but this could be like a voice that you've been dealing with on the inside that you're now having to silence and being like, you know what, I'm doing things my own way. Do not rush me, do not push me. I'm going to do it my own way. And like I said, that could be a conversation you need to have with yourself. Okay, and let's find out the color that is calling to Sagittarius this week. What color is calling to Sagittarius this week? Apricot, rejoice and laugh. So needing to bring in more laughter, not being so serious about everything. Maybe needing to eat an apricot or surround yourself with apricot flowers. Some of you, maybe you want to put something out on an altar and you want to put the color apricot around there. If you're doing anything for that full moon, bringing that color into play, asking and giving thanks, I should say, for laughter, things that bring you laughter. Okay, we had one tea leaf already pop out. Yoke, feeling tied down or frustrated. Feeling tied down or frustrated. And this is what we're kind of talking about, is like not comparing yourself to other people, because you could be feeling like you're tied down, like you're not able to keep up with others in certain aspects of your life, and not really seeing how there might be areas of your life though that you are succeeding in that others are jealous of. And you're not, we have the Sun, happiness and well-being. So again, saying that rejoice and laughter, kind of like not focusing in on what's making you frustrated at certain moments. Like, you want to be aware of it, but ask yourself, is it coming from a place because you are comparing your success, your joy, and everything like that to other people? You know, you just need to be a little less serious in those aspects, and trust your inner voice, trust you're on the right path, that things are in balance. With that too from the High Priestess, things are in balance, things are in place. Trust the divine process in this. All right, Sagittarius, let us find out, what is some self-care that you can do for this week, or even just like under the full moon, the day before, the day after. If you can't do it on the night of, it's absolutely fine. Flow like water. More water energy being brought into your reading. And I say that because the moon relates to Cancer energy, which is a water sign. So flow like water, like taking things slowly, taking things your own path, letting things go with the flow. This could also just be like you need to go swimming, you need to take some baths, things like that that could bring you joy. If you can put like these color flowers in your bath with you, spruce it up a little bit, surround yourself with things that make you feel comfortable, to have that peace of mind for yourself, to kind of ease that frustration before you tackle that problem, okay? Let me grab affirmation. If you happen to be close to a beach that you can get to, that, you know, maybe, if I don't know if it'll be even warm enough though to go into a beach, depending on where you are, what your zone is, that, you know, maybe that you can go into the water. If you can't, then, you know, it's just more about maybe there's like pictures or things that you can watch, or that you can like ASMR videos you can put on. Maybe you need to hear the waves of the water. That could be helping too, to bring in some peace. Okay, so here's your affirmation that we're going to pull for this week. I also have these cards here. They're great for yes or no style questions. I'm going to put them to the side for right now. After we pull the affirmation, I'm going to pull one of these for you. And so if you need to pause the video anytime to think of a question, you can. Otherwise, you know, this is kind of like your hint to like, hey, get your question ready while I shuffle and then pull this card and then shuffle and pull the answer. Oh, okay. Well, the shuffle's done for that. This is your affirmation. Sagittarius, your affirmation is, I trust my inner voice. Basically saying this from the High Priestess. This is what she's saying out loud to you to affirm to yourself as you trust your inner voice. So I trust my inner voice. You're trusting how you just know things and not questioning it. Like, trust that you can go with the flow. Trust that, you know, you can drop comparing yourself to other people. You know, like, it can be very frustrating at first, but you'll get the hang of it. All right, think of your question. Think of your question. What is the answer to Sagittarius' question? It's this one. Reconsider. Reconsider. We have that full moon in the back there too, so we might have to reconsider that night of the full moon if it is a good night for you. This could be reconsidering your options. This could be reconsidering if you feel like you still are like comparing yourself with others, like, you know, reconsider it. You're still frustrated, come back to it again later. Okay, and that was your reading, Sagittarius. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this style of reading. Make sure, you know, you do all the good YouTube stuff. Like, share, subscribe, you know, subscribe to the channel, share the video with a friend, like it if you like the style of video, and just like, let me drop a comment, like, or drop me a comment. I love to read your comments. Okay, thank you so much for being here, Sagittarius, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye. Hello, Capricorn. How are you today? How are you doing for this week? All right, let us find out what major arcana is calling out to Capricorn. What major arcana wants to be present for Capricorn this week? What do you need to know from this major arcana? Oh, okay, major arcana. Interesting. We get the Chariot. So interesting, I say, because the Chariot is ruled by Cancer, which is the sister sign to Capricorn. We actually see this where Capricorn is known as like the father of the zodiac, and Cancer is known as the mother of the zodiac. So very interesting, that balancing energy, the duality of it all, if you would. That we have the Chariot showing up though, meaning you're on a path to success. You're leaving but you're leaving like the collective thoughts. You're kind of doing your own path. Like the Emperor has built up these pyramids and you're like, you know what, I'm going to explore more. I'm going to travel. Some of you might be working with a car, working something that revolves around being in a vehicle that's moving. So keep that in mind to double check all of that, making sure everything's up to date. This is also about mental, like determination, like willpower and discipline, keeping them in check to keep yourself on track. And I say that because like a lot of times when we see like the message through the tarot, it's about like chaos energy and like creative energy and how certain major arcanas will harness that and how they use it. That chaotic energy, especially that of the collective, the Chariot has the power to harness it and direct it, but it's a very calm and collected. This is also making sure that, you know, your home is up to date or like clean and like is setting you up for success. The imagery of the Cancer is like the shell. This is like represented by like the top of the Chariot here. It's protection. Some of you might want to deal with protection this week, protection of your home, even just spiritual protection. If you want to do some protection spells or rituals or cleansing of your space, you might want to do that. This is also about connection between the mind, body, and soul, as we see the three pyramids in the back of the Chariot here, making sure they are connected. But this is mostly about, for Capricorn, is making sure that you have the discipline and have a set path, okay? Like your willpower and discipline in staying in the right path, leading on to success. And if you feel like you've been like thrown off, you're going to get back onto the path once you've kind of taken a break and like been like, okay, what went wrong? Like let me see what went wrong so I can fix it. All right, what does Capricorn need to surrender this week? Capricorn, what do you need to surrender this week? Surrender to prayer. Give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you will be heard throughout the universe, and answers and support will arrive. This could be just praying to your deity, to your ancestors, to your spiritual team, wanting to connect with them, connecting with the divine. For some of you, in order to be set back onto the right path, what exactly does your path look like, or where are you heading? Where's your goals? And some of you need to set that up as prayers and send it on to the universe. And we have that full moon in Leo coming up on the 16th for this week. So that might be a great opportunity for you just to release those. Not exactly as manifestations, but what do you need to release? What do you need to surrender in order to bring into the next cycle of abundance? Some people out there do like to manifest under the full moon, so that's completely and totally up to you. You might feel great about doing that. And so this could be your sign to do so. Okay, let us find the color that is calling to Capricorn for this week. What color is calling to Capricorn this week? Oh, we kind of have two. I'll let that go. Both flipped up like that. Emerald. Calm your mind, body, and soul. And we were just talking about that, the connection between mind, body, and soul to set you upon that right path. Making sure that all these aspects of your life are in alignment for your better good, for your higher self. White, lighten up, especially if some of you have been, like we have the white present here on Surrender to Prayer. Lighten up, like feel yourself surrounded by light as well. We have wings, we have like symbology going through all three of these top cards. We have wings present here, wings here, a feather there, feeling like you're being surrounded by the divine, by your guides, that they're trying to give you signs and symbols. You need to see it, but lighten up in the, not just like in like, hey, you're being too serious about things. Sometimes you, like, when we know Capricorns, you're very business focused. You're very, you know how to get things done as well. Like, you know, that's very like what is well known about Capricorn. But we have like that Chariot come in with that Cancer energy, that nourishing energy, making sure you're taking care of other areas of your life, that you don't let work prioritize over other aspects of your life. And between your body and your soul, you need to lighten that up. You need to get yourself unburdened, and that could be like the discipline and the willpower that you need. And that's why some of you need to bring back need to tone down a little bit of the anti-spiritualness into yourself, and allow a little bit more of your spiritual side to appear and be more present in your day-to-day life. Okay, let me grab your tea leaf. Let us find out your first tea leaf fortune. Okay. What do we have here? We have a rainbow. The most difficult part of a situation is over. And that could be why you might be giving thanks. You might be giving your thanks for prayer. And that's a really great time for the full moon, is giving out those thanks and like thanks to your ancestors, leaving those offerings down. And, you know, thankful that the most difficult part of the situation is now over. You're moving forward with your life. Let me grab the other. Let's see, there's another tea leaf. Oh, yeah, we do. We have gong, an exciting event. So we go from the most difficult part of the situation over. Some of you might be celebrating that, having a very exciting event that this is happening. And this could be any event that you choose to celebrate, whether like, you know, not just the ending of a situation, but the beginning of another. And this, we also, like I said, we see that leaving of the situation because we have the Chariot in movement. It's moving on from this event. All right, what is some self-care that Capricorn can do for this week? What is some self-care that Capricorn can do for this week? Use your hands. And, you know, usually people think about prayer, think of hands like this, so that could be implying to that as well. But we also have the Chariot holding items in their hands. We have someone using their hands and creating artwork. Some of you might want to work with your hands-on projects, wanting to just let that creativity shine. It could just be pottery, or it could be writing. It could be forms of communication. It could be playing some sort of music. But using your hands and being creative with that. Okay, we have your affirmation. And while I'm pulling your affirmation, this is your opportunity to think of a question if you haven't already done so. These are example answers. I will explain if necessary. Some of them are pretty straightforward. So you can think of your question now. Pause the video if you need to think of your question while I shuffle and find out your affirmation. Capricorn, what is your affirmation for this week? What is your affirmation for this week, for this day, for this video, however you choose to use it? We have more art supplies here. My mind is my tool to use in any way I wish. So some of you really need to unleash your creative powers. You need to write things down, need to use your hands. My mind is my tool to use in any way I wish. So like I said, like talking about the lightening of a situation between your mind, body, and soul, needing to really connect with your mind and making sure that all your needs are being met. And your mind is a tool, so using it for discipline, for willpower, but also realizing, like, don't push yourself too much to where it leads to burnout. All right, question time, question time, question time. Think of your question while I shuffle for a few, and then I will pick the answer for Capricorn's question. The answer to your question, Capricorn: listen to your intuition. Trust your intuition. What was the first initial? What did you want this to be? Did you want it to be a direct yes or a no? We had that shoot down to prayer, sending your question to prayer, to meditate on it, to see what it comes back to. But what was your intuition? What did you want this to be before it was revealed to you? What were you hoping for? And that would be your answer. Okay, Capricorn, that was your reading. Let me know what you thought of this. Drop a comment. I love to read your comments. And, do the fun stuff. Share, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know how it goes. All the details are in the description box below if you need it. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.